Hello YouTube, my name is Nero and today we're going to be continuing my mini-series here on my YouTube channel where I show you guys a bunch of really cool old school glitches on Call of Duty 4/Modern Warfare Remastered. This is actually going to be the third part of a 4-part series. The first 2 episodes you can find on your screen right now. The video on your left will show you glitches on the maps Ambush, Backlot, Block, as well as Bog. The video on your right will show you glitches on Countdown, Crash, Crossfire, as well as District, and this video is going to be covering Downpour, Overgrown, Pipeline, as well as Shipment. And as always, these glitches are in old school mode, a special set of rules available only in Call of Duty 4/Modern Warfare Remastered. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the video. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Downpour, the first map that is going to be featured here in this video. In my experience so far with Call of Duty 4 and with Michael Myers and all the open lobbies I've done, this appears to be one of the least popular maps in the game to do custom games on, but there are definitely a lot of cool glitches to do here, and I'm going to try my best to show you guys some of those here in this video. So first of which, you get on top of this tractor right here, right? And you want to run and jump towards a corner of this building. Now, I always mess it up because I'm bad at the glitches that involve you running and jumping at the exact right time, but eventually you'll get it right, and then you're going to land on top of this roof, which is one of the best spots in the game for Michael Myers, in my opinion, because it's so nice up here. You can actually drop out of the map if you would like to, but you will die. There's a death zone right here. You will die. You will fall right through the ground. And you'll die pretty much instantly. Don't believe me? Feel free to go ahead and try it for yourselves. But yeah, you can definitely do that. You can also run and jump right here towards the corner and get on top of this part of the roof as well. There are barriers here. Whenever you see walls, there's typically going to be barriers to try to make it so players can't actually go any further. Like right now, I can try and make my way this way, but there's going to be a barrier right here, which kind of makes it so you can't try and get inside of that tree, which is pretty unfortunate. But you can actually get on top of this building right here and get into another tree, pretty simply. So you just simply run and jump on top of that chimney, run and jump across over to here, and now you're on top of the middle building. And my favorite spot on the entire map is actually getting on top of this thing right here, because it's pretty much the highest spot in the entirety of the map, with the exception of maybe an out of the map glitch that you can do over there. But I'm very bad at that glitch. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to be able to show that to you guys here in this video. But yeah, you can try and run and jump from here and land inside this tree. Or, alternatively, you can just simply climb on top of this ladder here, go over here to the edge, and just kind of run and kind of strafe jump a little bit towards the tree itself. It may take you a couple tries. It always takes me a couple of tries. And doing these videos is actually so hard because I always try to get it on the exact, very first try to make it look good. But in reality, occasionally you mess up. Sometimes it's difficult to land things. But yeah, you can definitely run, jump, and land inside of this tree as well. So those are 2 glitches that I know how to do here on this map. Pretty cool ones if you ask me. Now, the rest of them mainly involve having other people or being very, very good at glitching. And let me show you what I mean. So you have this building here, right? It's a turret building. You have pretty much an identical building on the opposite end of the map right over there. I'm pointing my gun at it right now. Basically the exact same building, but they're on opposite ends of the map. You can actually get on top of the roofs here, but that involves like an RPG jump or actually having a teammate. So let me show you what I mean with a teammate. So if you have a teammate here, they just simply crouch like this, just crouch and look down at the ground, and then you just run, jump on their head, then bam, you're on top of the roof. If you want to do it solo, you can actually do it with an RPG, which you can find the RPGs in the barn here on this side of the map. But I'm really bad at this, and honestly, guys, I've been trying to do it a bunch this afternoon and trying to get it down right. I can't get it consistently. Like how people do it is they will run and jump and then RPG jump and then try and land right here. Let me try and show you what I mean. If you run and jump towards this, yeah, of course, if you don't fail like I do, if you run and jump towards that corner, you're going to feel right there, I bounce. There's a bounce glitch right there, which is going to bounce you. So if you RPG jump, you can land on top of that bounce and then get on top of the roof by yourself without the help of a teammate. But I'm very bad at that, and I can't do that. So feel free to look up other tutorials online. I'm sure there are videos of people actually doing it here on YouTube. But yeah, those are basically the glitches I know here on Downpour. Get on top of that roof, get on top of that roof, get inside the tree, and you can get on top of this roof as well as that roof. But for these final 2 ones, you actually need to have another person with you to actually be able to do them effectively. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Overgrown, the second map that we're going to be featuring here in this video. Unfortunately, Overgrown is not exactly known for having tons of great glitches per se, but there are a couple of really cool secret spots and lots of other great spots for you to get to here on this map, and I'm going to do my best to go ahead and show you guys those here in this video. So the first one is pretty obvious, getting on top of Grandma's house. Now, this is a spot you can get to in the standard multiplayer. Everybody seems to know about this spot. It's a part of playing Overgrown. Overgrown. You're always going to have snipers on top of this roof. It's very easy to get onto, but if you don't know how to, simply just get on top of this wall. There's a couple of ways. Now, you can look for an indent in the wall. Look for this indent right here. Just walk up to it, jump and press A again. It's going to mantle you on top of here. Then simply just run and jump on top of the rooftop. Alternatively, if you're on this end of the wall, very, very simple. Climb on top of this dumpster, climb on top of the wall, and there you are. Or you can jump on top of this box, then use the box to jump on top of here. However you want to do it, that's how you get on top of Grandma's roof. But you can also go ahead and continue on even further and jump down here on top of this fence. Now, very carefully walk across this fence and get on top of this roof over here. Now, this is one of my favorite spots to use in Michael Myers on this map, because if you see Michael and you know that he sees you on top of here, and you see him run over this way to get on top of Grandma's house to run all the way over here to try and get you, while he's running over there and he doesn't see you anymore, just simply drop down, run away. He's not going to have any idea where you went, and it's a really good spot to use overall if you're playing Michael Myers. One of my favorite spots in Call of Duty 4 is actually on this map. I'm going to show you guys this next. It's definitely a pretty good secret spot. It's a spot that nobody seems to know about, and nobody will ever find you here. I promise you this. Unless they watch this video. Don't show them this video because then they'll know. But right over here, inside the creek bed here, you can actually jump over here and you can lay down right here. Nobody has ever found me here. This is a spot that I think a lot of people don't even know is even here. So definitely use that to your advantage. If you're laying down there, nobody is going to find you. And most of the time, unless they see a video like this, they won't even think to look here. And I just accidentally bounce glitched all the way up here. Okay, so apparently this is also a spot. I did not mean to do this. I promise you, I did not mean to do that. There's apparently a bounce glitch right there. Next up, I want to show you guys a couple of spots involving this bridge right here. So to get on top of the bridge, it's very, very easy. You get on top of the wall just like I showed you earlier. Now you just get on top of this, get on top of the bridge. Very, very simple. Now, this is actually a very good tip for playing Overgrown in the multiplayer. Hypothetical situation. There is somebody inside this building camping up there. They're either watching the stairs as soon as you walk inside the door. Maybe there's somebody on the turret with somebody watching his back, or maybe they have claymores. A very good tip is just to run and jump towards the side of the building. It doesn't need to be specifically this spot. You're landing on top of this thing right here, and you can basically, anywhere you land, you're always going to land on the side of the building. Now, walk along the edge of the building and shoot the guy through the window. It's a very, very good spot. It's a classic spot for Overgrown in Call of Duty 4. I just want to make you guys aware of that. It's not a great spot for Michael Myers, though, because as you guys can see, he can jump on top of the barrel, then knife you. Very, very easy, but just a cool spot in general. Want to make you guys aware of that, but a very good spot if you're actually looking to hide from Michael Myers is drop down here on top of this fence, go pretty slowly around this tree here, because it can bump you off, because it does give you a bit of a bump, and if you're moving too quickly, it's just going to knock you off. But now you're on top of this roof, very similar to the opposite end of the map, but you can lay down right here, which basically makes you invisible. Nobody can see you if you are laying down right here, because the playable area of the map is right over there, right? If he's standing right there, or even standing on top of the barn, he can't see you laying down right here. See, nobody can see you. Also, if he's like directly behind you, looking for you over here, he can't see you laying right here either. Like, I could drop down right here. You can't see up there whatsoever. It's a ridiculously good hiding spot, but a lot of people are wise to it, so just keep that in mind. They're probably going to look for you there, but if they don't, it's one of the best spots in the game. The next spot I want to show you guys here on Overgrown, and now that I'm thinking about it, probably the final spot, because everybody knows about the glitch to get inside the wall right there, which is definitely going to be fixed in Modern Warfare Remastered. The final spot is actually going to be inside this building right here. Now, what you want to do is just jump on top of this, and then just jump forward. Very, very easy, and now you're actually on top of this, basically the second story of this building. You can hide right over here, maybe go prone to make it harder to actually see you. It's a pretty cool spot overall. I really like the attention to detail and stuff like that with old school mode here on this map. And in fact, if you go to spectator mode, you can actually see so much attention to detail that the person that actually created this map, his name is hidden inside one of these buildings. I love the fact that that is actually the case. I wish Call of Duty would do more Easter eggs like this. So obviously the name here is Alexander Reuschewitz. Now, who is that, you may be wondering? He was actually a level designer for Infinity Ward. He worked on maps in Call of Duty 4, as was Modern Warfare 2, before leaving with a lot of other people in Infinity Ward during Modern Warfare 2 to go form Respawn Entertainment. According to the Call of Duty Wiki, he is directly responsible for creating Ambush, Block, District, as was this map, of course, Overgrown, which is pretty cool. And in Modern Warfare 2, it says he is responsible for making Afghan, Terminal, Salvage, high-rise, quarry, skid row, as well as underpass. So those of you guys that are enjoying Terminal in Infinite Warfare, he's responsible for creating the original one, and here is an Easter egg on Overgrown with his name hidden inside of a building. I think that's pretty cool. Next up, we have Pipeline, which admittedly, I don't know a ton of great glitches here on Pipeline. I think everybody knows about the bounce glitch. You get on top of this building here, you run and jump, you land on a perfect spot here on this truck, and it's going to launch you forward on top of this building. That's going to be fixed in Modern Warfare Remastered. They have already said that bounce glitches will not be returning, and that's kind of good for me because I probably couldn't do that glitch even if I wanted to, because I've done it maybe once in my entire life. I always end up messing it up. I'm not very good at bounce glitches, but that's definitely one of them. But there's also a number of other glitches to show you guys here on this map. Well, actually, namely one other major glitch, and the rest are kind of just like neat spots that you can get into. So go underground here, right? There are 4 ways to go underground here on Pipeline. You can go the way that I came. You could come from these stairs all the way over there, which in fact, I'm going to show you a really quick spot here from these stairs. So where I'm actually at, just for context, so you guys know where I'm at, inside this building right here, it'll take you underground. Now, one of the spots you can actually get to is just simply run and jump and crouch and then land on top of this thing right here. It's not the most amazing spot in the world, but you'd be surprised how often people actually just don't see you right there and walk right by you. Now, if you continue on underground here, you can actually go to this wall breach, which has been plaguing the multiplayer to this day. You have this wall right here. Now, what you want to do is just go to this corner here, jump and crouch, and now you're like technically on the edge here. Now, turn around, go prone, and wiggle your way inside. And now you're inside this wall. You can't really go like any further than this, but you can walk along this pipe right here. It's a pretty good hiding spot. You'll see a lot of times people running right past you if they don't think to look for you. So just keep that in mind. And here's a pro tip. If you want to try and remain as hidden as possible, double tap Y or triangle or wherever it would be on PC while you're actually hiding in here, because in Call of Duty 4, I'm not sure about Modern Warfare Remastered, it basically makes you look like you're dead if you're sitting here while Ying for some reason. It makes you look like you're tucked, like hiding your face inside your elbow. It makes you not move whatsoever, which is pretty crucial if you're trying not to be seen. So yeah, that's a wall breach spot. You can get out the same way you basically came in, just go prone and get right back out. Now, this other spot here, I'm a big fan of. This is a spot that I found myself. Like, usually a lot of these things, like people taught me them in private matches and stuff like that. This one I just happened to find myself, which I was pretty proud of, and it's a spot that people don't really think to get to. So get on top of this building here, right? They intend for you to get up here. There are ladders, for crying out loud. Now, go out here on top of this roof, go over here. Now, very slowly, in fact, we should just do it from this angle because it's a little bit easier. Very slowly edge yourself off of this building and try to land on these boards right here. There we go. Right here in and of itself is a pretty freaking good spot. Even if they do see you here, they're probably not going to be able to land and get you perfectly, but you can also go even further. So just hug this wall. You don't have to jump. You can just hug the wall and then walk over here. Now, right here is a pretty good spot, but he can, of course, get on top of that dumpster and knife you, so try to avoid that. Go over here, get on top of this board here, and now you have a pretty good hiding spot. This is a spot where, 1, they're probably not going to find you, but 2, they probably can't knife you either unless they do all the steps that you did, and if you see them coming for you, you jump down or fake like you're going to jump down to make them jump. It's a really good spot. I've had a lot of success with it here in the past. Now, this is a trade secret. You guys won't tell anyone about this, right? You guys aren't going to tell anyone about this because this is my Ninja the Fuse spot in Search and Destroy. People don't think to do this, right? Because in Search, there's a bomb site right here. And people think to go like underneath here all the time because this is one of the entrances to go underground. So people think to look down here, right? But nobody ever seems to look on the other end over here. So what I would do, and the best way to do it is to go all the way here to the end, go prone, and just crawl down here. Now, you can't even crouch up. Like, you're basically stuck. If you're going underneath here, the only way out is to basically crawl out. You can't run, you can't crouch, or anything like that. So just keep on crawling here. It's a pretty good hiding spot already, right? So what I would do so many times, hundreds of Ninja the Fuses doing this, is you do this, get inside the grass right here, and then just YY, like I said, it makes you look like you're dead. It makes it so your character, most importantly, does not move. Like, his gun's not going to idly move. His head's not going to look back and forth. So just lay here like this. 1, people aren't going to find you. 2, really good Ninja the Fuse spot for Search and Destroy if that is your thing. Like, look at that right there. Nobody's going to look down there, especially if they're thinking about planting the bomb and you're not actually moving. And especially if you're just trying your best not to be seen or like making any sudden movements or anything like that. Like, don't actually get too antsy with it. Like, if somebody like crouches down to act like they're gonna plant, don't immediately start crawling on top of them. Make sure they're actually planting and they're not just like fake planting. You could also alternatively get underneath these trains right here. Definitely a pretty good spot as well. But overall, Pipeline itself doesn't have a ton of glitches. And that's what I was kind of worried about going into this series. Is a couple of maps have some like really insane glitches, tons of great spots for you to get to. But then there are other maps like this where it's like, there are a couple decent spots, I suppose. Mostly just hiding spots for Michael Myers, not so much glitches, you know. But that is basically the extent of my knowledge here on Pipeline, with the exception of windows. Let me show you guys the windows really quickly. Just something to bear in mind if you're playing Michael Myers. You can get on top of these windows, right? You can run, jump, and get on top of this one right here, which is a pretty decent spot in and of itself. But if you want to use strafe jumps, or not even really a strafe jump, just kind of turn slightly while you're jumping, you can run and jump and get on top of this part over here, but of course I fail it. And you can also get on top of this window over here and stuff like that. So you can definitely get inside a lot of the windows in this building over here, but really, it's not a great spot, but still, those are basically the spots I know here on the map Pipeline. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to bring us on to Shipment, the final map that we're going to be covering here in this video. I hope you guys weren't expecting anything great, because Shipment is the smallest map in Call of Duty history, and as a result, there isn't a lot for you to do in terms of old school glitches and stuff like that. Basically, you get on top of the crates, and you can jump crate to crate. It's one of the most boring maps, in my opinion, for game modes like Michael Myers or like private matches and stuff like that, because it's so small and there's really nothing fun for you to do. Like, it's one of the best maps in Call of Duty history for multiplayer. For actual gameplay, love this map so much. But if you're trying to play a private match, if you're trying to do glitches or play Michael Myers and stuff like that, pretty freaking boring if you ask me. Not a whole lot for you to do. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Keep in mind, all the glitches I'm showing you guys here in these videos are just the glitches that I know of and the glitches I've been doing personally for years. You'll see a number of other videos here on YouTube of other people doing glitches that are maybe a bit more difficult, involving RPG jumping, or maybe elevators or bounce glitches, or maybe shotgun jumping involving other people or jumping on top of other people's heads. Keep in mind, I can't do those glitches because, one, bounce glitches and elevators are being removed in Modern Warfare Remastered, as well as I am just one person and therefore cannot do multiple person glitches here in these videos. So stay tuned for the fourth and final episode of this little mini series. Definitely looking forward to that myself, and I hope you guys are as well. I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Drop me a rating. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day.